What if your deepest pain was actually the path to your greatest transformation? This is the story of Saint John of the Cross, the mystic and poet who was imprisoned, beaten, and left alone in the dark, yet found in that very darkness the brilliance of divine love. Born Juan de Yepes in 1542 in Foniveros, Spain, John grew up in poverty. His father had married beneath his noble status for love, and at his death, the family struggled to survive. But even as a child, John's heart was different, drawn to silence, simplicity, and prayer. He joined the Carmelite order, but soon felt called to something deeper. Then he met Teresa of Avila, who was reforming the Carmelite order, calling it back to prayer, poverty, and discipline. Inspired by her vision, John helped launch the Descalced Carmelites, embracing a more austere and contemplative life. But not everyone supported this reform. In 1577, John was kidnapped by his own Carmelite brothers, who rejected the reform movement. They locked him in a tiny, dark cell in Toledo, barely large enough to stand. For 9 months, he endured cold, starvation, beatings, and total isolation. But here's what's remarkable. In the darkest hours of this imprisonment, John began to write some of the most beautiful spiritual poetry and theology the Church has ever known. He realized that this spiritual emptiness was not abandonment. It was purification. From this experience came his most famous concept, the dark night of the soul. He wrote, "In the dark night of the soul, bright flows the river of God." What is this dark night? It's not depression. It's not just suffering. It's the stripping away of everything that is not God, so that we can cling only to Him. No consolations, no emotional highs, only pure, raw trust in the silence of faith. After a daring escape, John continued to write, teach, and guide souls. His works, especially The Ascent of Mount Carmel, The Dark Night of the Soul, and Spiritual Canticle, are masterpieces of mystical theology and poetry. He taught that true union with God comes not through feelings or visions, but through letting go, dying to self, enduring trials, and trusting God's hidden work in the soul. He died in 1591, aged just 49. In 1726, he was canonized, and in 1926, declared a doctor of the Church for his profound spiritual insights. Saint John of the Cross shows us that suffering is not meaningless, that silence isn't God's absence, it's His invitation, and that if we persevere through our own dark nights, we will find not just light, but divine fire. So, when your life feels cold, when prayer is dry, when God seems far away, remember the prison cell in Toledo, and remember the man who found heaven in the dark. Saint John of the Cross, pray for us.